Here we are at the Bass Tank, guys, 2022 Puma STS, the brand new Bass Cat boat. I can't wait to get in the boat myself and show you guys what the Bass Tank's done to it. You know, we start with the Bass Tank with basic 101 stuff, and that is wiring. You know, wiring is taken for granted, and I've started at the bottom just like everyone else, and I remember those days of starting my boat and my graphs turning off, and you know, starting my boat and not having enough power, hitting a power cord and things shorting out, hitting a wave and my graphs going off. The Bass Tank specializes in remedying all of those problems. That's why they're so good at what they do. They've got a brand new power wire harness that's out and available. They start at the back of the boat with a wiring harness. This is probably the most important thing in your boat with you not being aware of it. This is the wiring harness that we're doing now. The wiring harness carries all the voltage from your batteries to every unit and every accessory on your boat, and this is a crucial key in any boat that's on the water. There's nothing worse than not having enough power with today's graphs, electronics, forward-facing sonars that we have available to us, and not being able to get that power from your batteries to those units. We've got the HDS 12 Lives, we've got the Lowrance Sonic Hub, we've got point ones, we've got everything that you can imagine. All that's controlled through the back of the boat and the wiring harness that runs throughout. Now, you can never forget your power pole charge, the greatest invention in battery charging since the history of bass boats. The power pole charge controls everything. You know exactly where your voltage is coming from. You know how much it's getting to each battery. You know how good each battery is if you have a faulty battery. And you can transfer battery power from one battery to another if by chance your cranking battery is dead, because your units do pull that much juice. There's so much that the Bass Tank can do. There's so much that the Bass Tank can do. They can walk you through it. They can show you these things. They can show you how to operate them. And on top of that, they're going to make sure that the boat is wired properly for what you want to do. Doesn't matter if your boat's brand new like the Bass Cat I'm sitting next to, or if you have an older model boat. That's actually probably even better. The older model boats that are out nowadays, all the new electronics that we have, power poles, everything that comes along with them, you need a new wiring harness because the boats weren't rigged to carry the voltage that we have in the market today with the amount of units. So doesn't matter if it's a 2022 or a 1982, you need to upgrade your harnesses and your wiring to carry the voltage to get these units to run properly and not go dead. Now, the most exciting part, let's get to the back of this Bass Cat, and I want to show you the brains and the operation of how it's wired in. So what we've got here is we start with a 30 amp breaker, okay, right here. We separate your graphs and your electronics from your live wells, your bilge pumps, and all your operations of the boat. And the reason we do that is because they all draw from the same power source. If we're able to put the graphs and all your electronics on this 30 amp breaker, we now know it's getting the adequate amount of power from here all the way to the front of the boat to supply all these units that we're running now. This is a key deal whenever you start using power poles, bilge pumps, you know, aerators, live wells, pump in, pump out. All these things are all drawn off the same battery system. So when you separate them, you're ensuring that you're getting the adequate amount of voltage to those units. So if you are running those pumps and you start your boat, you don't get those low voltage alarms. You don't get the units that shut off because they drew from power to give it somewhere else. This is all key. We've all experienced those problems. Doesn't matter if you fish at the professional level or if you fish everyday club derbies. It doesn't matter. We all have the same issues, and that's what the Bass Tank is remedying. I can't wait for you guys to actually get this stuff. Try it. It's going to make your life so much easier. You're going to forget about the electrical problems that you previously had. So look, this is the actual harness that they put in your boat. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, this thing is available at thebasstank.com. Jump online, order it, and or give them a call. They'll walk you through the process. I would highly recommend you bring your boat into the Bass Tank, have them do it. They'll walk you through, show you everything that they've done and how they wired it in. They're an expert at this. This is what they do day in and day out. But I promise you, I have not had a single electrical issue with my boat since I've been using the Bass Tank. And as far as I'm concerned, I'll never go back to doing anything differently. It makes my life so much easier, and I have zero worries about whether or not my boat is going to function properly with electrical issues.